Have you been waiting for news about your Social Security payments and wondering when you'll finally see those retroactive benefits everyone's been talking about? Well, stop everything you're doing because what I'm about to share with you could mean thousands of dollars in your bank account sooner than you think. Just minutes ago, the Senate shared crucial information about 1,896 Social Security payouts, and payment transfers are officially starting from May 30th. If you're one of the millions of Americans affected by the windfall elimination provision or government pension offset, this could be the news you've been desperately waiting for. Before we dive deep into exactly who's getting these payments and when they'll hit your account, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell because we're your go-to source for the latest Social Security updates that directly impact your financial future. Don't let yourself miss out on critical information that could mean the difference between getting your money now or waiting months longer. The Social Security Fairness Act became law on January 5, 2025, and it's been a complete game-changer for millions of Americans who were previously penalized by unfair provisions that reduced their benefits. But here's what's really exciting about today's announcement. The Social Security Administration has been working around the clock to process these retroactive payments, and they've just reached a major milestone that affects nearly 2,000 specific payouts scheduled to begin this Friday, May 30th. Are you someone who worked in public service, law enforcement, firefighting, or education while also paying into Social Security from other jobs? Have you been frustrated watching your benefits get slashed because of complex rules that seem designed to punish you for serving your community? The answer to your prayers might finally be here. The Senate's latest update reveals that these 1,896 payouts represent a specific batch of beneficiaries who have been waiting in the queue for their retroactive payment since the law was signed. Let me break down exactly what this means for you and your family's financial situation. When the Social Security Fairness Act was passed, it eliminated two major provisions that had been reducing benefits for millions of Americans. The windfall elimination provision, which reduced Social Security benefits for people who also received pensions from jobs where they didn't pay Social Security taxes, is now completely gone. The government pension offset, which reduced spousal and survivor benefits for people receiving government pensions, has also been eliminated. This isn't just about future benefits either. The law made these changes retroactive to January 2024, meaning eligible beneficiaries are owed more than a year's worth of back payments. What makes today's announcement so significant is the timing and the specific number of recipients involved. These 1,896 payouts aren't random. They represent a carefully processed group of beneficiaries whose cases have been fully reviewed and approved for immediate payment transfer. The Social Security Administration has been working through an enormous backlog of cases, and reaching this specific group means the system is finally operating at the speed and efficiency that beneficiaries deserve. How much money are we talking about here? According to the latest data from the Social Security Administration, the average retroactive payment has been $6,710. But here's the crucial part that many people don't understand. This average includes people with vastly different work histories, benefit amounts, and length of time affected by these unfair provisions. Some people are receiving retroactive payments of just a few $100s, while others are getting checks for $20,000 or more. The exact amount depends on how much your benefits were reduced, how long you've been receiving Social Security, and the specific circumstances of your work history. Think about what an extra $6,710 could mean for your household budget right now. That's money that was rightfully yours all along. Money that was taken away by provisions that Congress finally recognized were fundamentally unfair. For many retirees living on fixed incomes, this isn't just extra spending money. This is the difference between struggling to pay bills and having genuine financial security. This is the ability to help your grandchildren with college expenses, make necessary home repairs, or finally take that vacation you've been putting off for years. But here's what's even more important than the lump sum payment. Starting in April 2025, eligible beneficiaries began receiving permanently higher monthly Social Security payments. This isn't a one-time bonus. This is a permanent increase that will continue for the rest of your life and could potentially benefit your spouse or survivors as well. For someone who was losing $200 per month due to these unfair provisions, that permanent increase means an extra $2,400 every single year for the rest of their retirement. The question everyone's asking is, how do you know if you're part of this specific group of 1,896 recipients? The Social Security Administration is handling notifications in a very specific way. If you're eligible for a retroactive payment, you should receive a notice in the mail explaining the adjustment to your benefits. However, and this is crucial, Many people are receiving their actual payment before they receive the mailed notice. So if you see an unexpected deposit from Social Security in your bank account, don't panic thinking it's a mistake. Check the amount and timing carefully because it could be your retroactive payment arriving ahead of schedule. The processing timeline has been incredibly aggressive since February 2025. As of the latest update, over 86% of eligible retroactive payments have already been processed and sent out. This means that if you haven't received your payment yet, you're likely in that final 14% that's currently being processed. The May 30th date represents a significant push to clear this remaining backlog and get money into the hands of people who have been waiting far too long. What should you do if you think you're eligible but haven't received anything yet? First, don't panic. The Social Security Administration is processing cases in batches, and your payment could arrive at any time. Second, make sure your direct deposit information is current with Social Security. If they don't have accurate banking information on file, your payment could be delayed while they mail you a paper check. Third, keep checking your bank account regularly because, as I mentioned, payments are often arriving before the official notification letters. There's also an important point about taxes that everyone needs to understand. These retroactive payments are considered taxable income for the year you receive them, not for the years they represent. This means if you receive a large lump sum payment in 2025, it could affect your tax situation for this year. You might want to consult with a tax professional about whether you should set aside a portion of your retroactive payment for taxes, especially if the amount is substantial enough to push you into a higher tax bracket. The broader impact of the Social Security Fairness Act goes beyond just these individual payments. This law represents a fundamental recognition that the previous system was unfair to people who dedicated their careers to public service. Teachers, police officers, firefighters, and other government employees were being penalized for having diverse work histories that included both public service and private sector employment. The elimination of these penalties acknowledges that people shouldn't be punished for serving their communities while also building Social Security eligibility through other work. Looking ahead, what does this mean for Social Security recipients in general? While this law specifically benefits people affected by the windfall elimination provision and government pension offset, it demonstrates that Congress is willing to make significant changes to Social Security when provisions are proven to be unfair. This could potentially pave the way for other Social Security reforms that benefit a broader range of recipients. For families planning their retirement, this law also provides important lessons about the complexity of Social Security benefits and the importance of understanding how different types of employment can affect your benefits. If you're currently working in public service or considering a career change that involves pension-eligible employment, these changes mean you no longer have to worry about these specific penalties reducing your Social Security benefits. The timing of these payments couldn't be better for many families dealing with inflation and rising costs of living. Even though inflation has moderated from its peak levels, the cost of housing, healthcare, and other essential expenses remains high for many retirees. These retroactive payments and permanent benefit increases provide meaningful relief at a time when every dollar counts. As we wrap up, remember that this is just the beginning of what could be a series of positive changes to Social Security. The successful implementation of the Social Security Fairness Act shows that the system can adapt and correct unfair provisions when there's sufficient political will to do so. Keep staying informed about changes to Social Security because they directly impact your financial security and retirement planning. If this information has been helpful to you, please share this video with friends and family members who might be affected by these changes. Many people don't realize they could be eligible for these retroactive payments, and sharing accurate information could literally put thousands of dollars in someone's pocket. Also, make sure you're subscribed to this channel because Social Security rules and benefits are constantly evolving, and we'll keep you updated on every change that